Welcome! In today's video, you will listen to a story about the intelligence of crows. During the audio, you'll see short multiple-choice questions. Listen carefully and choose the correct answer. Let's begin.
In today's lecture, we have been discussing how smart different animals are and how they solve problems in the wild. I'd like to give you an example of this by talking about a specific bird, the New Caledonian crow. This bird is found on islands in the South Pacific Ocean, and it has shown skills that are almost as good as those of monkeys or apes.
How smart are New Caledonian crows according to the speaker? Pause the video to read and choose your answer.
Now, usually we think that using tools is something only humans and monkeys do, but these crows have shown us that this isn't true. In their natural home, these birds need to eat large insect larvae, or grubs, that live deep inside holes in trees. This is a very important source of food for them because it gives them energy to survive on the islands. To get this food, the crows have developed a very clever way of making tools. For example, they don't just pick up any stick from the ground. They actually look for specific plants. They often choose the sharp leaves of the pandanus tree and cut them into a shape like a hook. This hook allows them to pull the bugs out of the tree, which is something they cannot do with just their beaks.
Why do the crows make tools shaped like a hook?
Scientists have known about this behavior for a long time. For years, they thought the birds were simply born with this knowledge. However, more recently, research has proven that this is actually a skill they learn. Young crows watch their parents make the tools and learn exactly how to do it, almost like a child learning a lesson in school.
How do young crows learn to make these tools?
However, while this intelligence is great for scientists to study, it has become a growing problem when these birds live near humans, especially in cities. Because the birds are so adaptable, they cause some unexpected issues. One issue is the damage they cause to property. Problems happen when crows use their strong beaks to pull rubber off car windows or roofs. They do this because they are curious or looking for insects.
Why do crows damage cars in the city?
But a more common problem is garbage. As well as finding food in nature, city crows have learned that human trash cans are full of food. This is an easy meal for them, but it creates a huge mess for the people who clean the streets. It is also very hard to stop them because the birds are so observant. So, what can city canners and residents do to stop crows from spreading rubbish everywhere? Some people believe that to stop the birds from attacking the trash, it is best to use clear plastic bags. The idea is that if the birds can see there is no food inside, they will leave it alone. But in fact, this does not work. The birds simply tear the bags open to double-check. They also have good memories and remember which houses usually have the best food scraps. Another possibility would be to put heavy locks on all the bins. This would keep the birds out, but it would cost too much money and take too much time for the garbage collectors to open every single bin.
Why is putting locks on trash bins a bad idea?
Nearly all the attempts to frighten the birds away have failed because the crows are smart enough to recognize faces and objects. Most cities have tried using simple scarecrows or plastic models of owls. While this works for the first few days, the crows quickly realize the model is not alive. Some researchers even reported that after a week, the crows were seen sitting on top of the plastic owls that were supposed to scare them. Also, because crows can talk to each other, if one bird knows it is safe, the whole group soon learns to ignore the danger.
Why do plastic owls stop working after a few days?
None of these methods was totally effective. As a result, the local people told us that rather than trying to block the birds, we might need to change how humans throw away food to see any real change. And even so, the New Caledonian crow remains a perfect example of how animal intelligence can make them very difficult to control.
Congratulations! You made it to the end. Here are the answers. I hope today's practice helped you improve your English skills. See you in the next video.